their voices. Hey, what's up, Law? How you doing, Law? What's going on, man? Good to see everyone. Whether or not this specific rumor is true, they're known to champ between peaks and across rugged valleys, exchanging messages with their brethren across great distances. This amulet was forged by an ancient order of druids in the White March, precursors to the Ethic Knoll of Twin Elms. It was worn and passed down from one watchman to the next, men and women who stood guard atop the high peaks ready to warn their fellows of approaching armies. Okay. Look at all that stuff. All right, now. Wondering about whether or not two-handed sword. Whoops. It's Cloud Piercer. God darn it. No, that's better, I think. Justice. That, I think, is better damage. 25% crush damage. It's probably a little better. Well, +5 to crit damage multiplier. Crits can inflict prone. Don't like the less damage, though. Although the +12 accuracy is nice, though. Might actually be worth it. All right. That's not worth it. Okay. Chat is live. Okay. Wow, that's expensive. Oh, man. It's expensive. I'll do it. Okay. First of all, Boots of Zealous command go to you. Alright. Alright. Lovely.
I'm here.
Okay. What we got going on in the stronghold? Oh, the adventure is over. Okay. What are we doing on the buildings? Finished in 1 day, 3 hours. Okay. Oh my god, no. That is nightmarish. Oh my god, Law. What? Oh my god, the nightmare. The nightmare. I hate those gifts. And oh.
Yes?
Oh, man. No, we're not going to ban Law for coming up with an idea. Just... I'm afraid that's not going to work out, man. Oh my gosh. I say this, people would certainly, they'd certainly pay attention to it, that's for sure. Oh my gosh. Alright, what's going on with this? Who is the what is this grieving mother thing? Grieving mother. This middle-aged peasant woman is dressed in a brown leather cloth draped down to her knees. Her hands are working at separating stringy, colorless vegetables in a pile before her, stripping the heads off the long fibrous stems with a paring knife. She discards the stems one by one, placing the heads of the vegetables into a small cradle-like basket in front of her. She doesn't greet you as you approach. You're not sure she even knows you're there. Excuse me? The woman doesn't respond. She keeps stripping the heads from the vegetables with a steady rhythm. She may be deaf. There's no indication she heard you. At first glance, she seems nothing more than a middle-aged woman. Unremarkable. Oh, okay, cool, Thorg. I heard you guys like Sarah Pleases. Let's see. Unremarkable, maybe less stern than most, who seems more focused on the weaving in her lap than her surroundings. Yet you suddenly notice she's not stripping the vegetables before any longer. She's weaving, and the vegetable pots are now missing. She still pays you no mind, her brown locks torn and snagged from lack of washing, like many of the townsfolk you've seen. There's a strange blur to her. Even the motions of her hands seem to be playing with threads that lack color, and a shape that lacks interest. It may be that she is half-minded, or deaf, but something feels wrong. As you watch, her knitting takes on an odd cadence, and you have a terrible suspicion that something lurks beneath what your eyes are showing you. Her brown hair is long, almost impossibly the length of her hands. As you follow the streams of her locks downwards, the hairs become long and black, splitting off into threads of black and silver and wrapping around her hands. She is forming a soul cradle with the threads. Braiding a net in front of you, each finger long and sharp like a series of knitting needles, almost hypnotic. The silver and black strands of her hair weave together, with silver predominating as a highlight, the black shadowing it. And suddenly you are calm. You are on a plateau, almost the height of a tower, several stories high. The plateau is like a table lying beneath a clear sky, and beneath the plateau, surrounding it in all directions, a forest hazy with mist, although whether it is actual mist, or distance, or a recollection. Resting in the curve of a natural arch above you is a great copper bell, half again the size of a man, hanging at attention, as if looking down on you in the event unfolding before you. The plateau is soaked in the sun, and the rock beneath you is rough and warm. The sky forms a cradle around you. You feel different, not disembodied, but you feel your body, your physical contours have changed along with the surroundings. He's weaving us forever! The Flash, huh? I know, right, gentlemen? And you hear a soft series of chimes like wind chimes. At the sound, the scene gains color and texture as if the sound is beckoning you gently forth, filling your senses and thoughts like mist rolling softly into a sealed chamber. And the chime coaxes you deeper into the memory, and you're certain it is a memory, a warm one. You're on the stone of the plateau, your knees on the warm texture of the ground. Silver, white, shimmering like Adra. The plateau is formed of it, glistening in the sun. You can feel the heat on your skin, your wrists, and your hands. Your hands are in motion, weaving, not thread, but gathering, tenderly moving along the first movements of Barat's wheel. Your hands are wet. Your hands are upon the flesh of a newborn child, and you can feel the crowning of a tiny head turning in your grip, its head slick, wet from the womb. The hands you are wearing, inhabiting, have done this many times, and they are practiced and confident. You can feel distant pains in your own head as the head emerges, a stream of fluid from the womb helping the newborn slide forth, and a woman's labored breathing crying out. As your hands move, you hear the sound of chimes, clear, cutting through the haze of memory. You cannot see where they are coming from, but they are close, and they are meant as a comfort. Of that you are certain. Hey, what's up, Original Taco? What's going on, man? Good to see you. Okay, see you, Shadowed. Thanks for stopping by, dude. And coaxed by your hands, every movement causing the chimes to sound again. Almost eagerly, the child comes forth, and as it does, your hands are in motion, weaving, moving along the length of a soft, wet rope. No, an umbilical cord from the legs of the naked woman before you. You are holding a small child, still wet from the womb, before you. The child cries out, its cry full of life, full of soul, the ringing of chimes echoing in its thought, filling it with its welcome. The soul is blurred at the edges as if you're viewing a soul, from within a soul, but it is there. It is alive. The woman before you is weeping, and at her first cry, her hands reach out for it. You surrender the child to her, something you have done many times before, and as your hands move, the chimes echo the movement, and you realize the chimes are hanging from cords on your wrists, and where once they echoed in the memory, they are now echoing in the child's mind as well. The chimes are intended to welcome the child, to be its first gentle greeting into the world, a soothing sound guided by the tender motions of your wrists. You are helping to weave its thoughts, its perceptions, and the experience. The experience. The woman laughs with a ragged joy, laughing from a parched throat. Her emotions seem soothed, but the physical demands of labor have left her exhausted. But the child is here, the child is safe, and all the top of the plateau is peaceful, calm, distant, flattening out as the memory persists. With effort, the scene bleeds of color and your mind becomes your own again. There is no pull, no anchor, yet the sound of the chimes remain. As they existed in the memory, they sound here as well, and they are hanging from woven braids on the wrists of the woman before you. Even as your head is spinning from the touch of her mind, the sound of the chimes on her wrists are sharp and clear, as if coaxing you back to the real world. The woman still sits before you, but she is nothing like what you first saw. She's wearing black shredded garments that drape over her form like streamers. Her hair is streaks of black. has streaks, I assume, black and run through with silver. Her age is almost impossible to tell. She simply feels old, like a crumbled watchtower. As she lifts her head to face you, you see that her hair is draped across the front of her face like a veil. What you first saw of her was a mental glamour of some sort, unconscious, and you realize what you see is not what the world sees, and you perhaps are the first to see her true self. Still, you don't sense a threat in the realization. If anything, you feel a sense of relief from the figure. You can hear her thoughts, and she is glad to at last be seen. Who are you?
I am seen, but the eyes of others do not remember. You were the first to see me as I am, the call stripped aside.
There is a light touch on your mind, a caress, and her left hand mirrors the motion of the touch, reaching up to the air between you. You hear the chime on her wrist sound softly. Her hand moves as if pantomiming, resting on your cheek at a distance, and she speaks softly and slowly.
Your memories. A cadence of wheels on a caravan track. Fever. Questions by running water.
True.
Violence in a night's campfire. Arrows in the dark. And fleeing. Falling rock and cracking stone. And a storm. The storm. The storm that brushed you. Did its screaming wake you from your mind's cradle? Your memory of it is painful. Its cry is difficult to ignore. It's like a child. Many children crying out.
This is like, who was the guy in Dragon Age Inquisition that I had like this? There was one guy, was it Cole? Cole, right? Was like this. Reminds me a little bit of him. I encountered a Behemoth, yes, and it did something to me. Her hand withdraws shyly, the chimes sounding softly once again. The woman stands uncertainly as if she has been sitting for some time, or is too weak to bear her own weight. You notice her cheekbones are tight, her face gaunt, and while her stance is weak, she seems determined to stand before you.
You are able to see me.
It is almost a question. You suddenly realize she doesn't seem to know what you saw when you looked at her, the image on the plateau, yet the image was so clear, so sharp, you're surprised she didn't feel you there.
To see me is a rare gift. A watcher's gift. So many questions, thoughts, whirling
Yeah, that's what I thought.
storm winds. That storm still roars through you, deep beneath your thoughts, yet muted and secret, like an underground river. I cannot tell if it is carving new channels, or eroding what keeps your true strength buried.
Exactly, Jen.
The fact that you could hear it at all, survive it, is something few have ever done. Your power will grow stronger with each soul you touch, as it allowed you to reach out to mine.
There is a silence, and although it seems to last for about a heartbeat, in your thoughts, it stretches out between the two of you, like a pull between your minds. You blink, tape a breath, and then you realize she wants to ask you a question, yet can't form the words, as if assembling them is painful, or there simply are not enough pieces. Wish to travel with me? You feel a wave of fear gusted with the strength of relief, although oddly her expression does not change. Then fear dissipates and you feel strength and certainty as the plateau from her memory lies beneath you, and a calm sky looks down upon you. Oh God, who am I going to replace? Interesting. Okay. All right, I'm going to bring her along. I don't know anything about what a cipher does. Produces a psychic howl in the targeted area. I don't know anything about that. But I guess we'll find out. Oh my God, do you need to be outfitted? All right, hold on a second. All right. I'm not 100% sure that I want to do... She better be worth it, but we're going to find out. Okay, first of all, she doesn't use a grimoire then. Fine dagger. That's what she uses as a dagger. There we go. Let's go with that. Although, actually, what I want you to be using is a crossbow. Wait a minute. There's got to be something better than that. Really? Saints War Armor. Let's give her Alot's armor. I know, right? Ciphers have spells you can cast. They take focus to cast, which is the number in the purple circle in the portrait. You build up more focus in between battles or by doing damage in combat. She does need a gun, yes. Yes, she does. And actually, who's got a gun so far? Forgiveness. St. Garum Spark. And yeah, I better go back and get her a gun. Cypher's got a gun. Cypher's got a gun. Okay, so what is focus gain. Okay, I got aha. All right, there we go. That's good. That will increase her gain. Lovely. You've got a whole lot of nothing. Oh, shoot. That's right. Okay. Robin Hood. Maybe. Welcome in, Brenhauser. Right, Visor? I don't know. I really... It's going to be... I'm looking forward to seeing how to use her, because I have no idea. Okay, so I need to get her a shield. Alright, I need to get her a shield. I thought I had some rings already. I need to get her a shield. Maybe a belt. What does she got for lore? Does she have any lore? She's only got lore of 2. That's not that impressive. Lore of 2. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna have to get her some stuff. Before I do that, though. Eye Strike. Mind Wave. Whisper of Treason imparts a bedeviling secret to an enemy that causes its allegiance to bend, charming them for the duration. Wow. Really? So she can charm enemies. Alright. Mind Blades generates a slashing blade of force that attacks them before leaping up to 5 additional targets. Phantom Foes, leaving them flanked. Recall Agony. 30% of all damage reapplied over 13.2 seconds. Oh my god, man. Yeah, I think I had heard of that. Is that still the case? Fractured Volition. Target hobbled and weakened. Puppet Master. Dominated. Do everything to fight its former targets. Soul Ignition. Pain Block. Grants a bonus through damage reduction. Regenerates endurance. Silent Scream. Mind Lance. Wow. Alright.
Yes?
Oh, wait. No, I want to talk to
Your
you.
thoughts must flow deeply indeed. Your mind comes bearing questions, Watcher.
I had questions for you. Let your mind speak for you. I shall listen past the words. You addressed me as a watcher when we met. Do you know what a watcher is? There is a slow chill, and for a moment it seems as if she's going to fade from your vision, as if she can't bear to be seen. The title came unbidden. I do not know why I spoke of it, yet it seemed the right mantle, a familiar one. Yet I do not know from where it came. If I have given offense, oddly enough it feels like she's not speaking to you, feels like she's speaking to an audience. The air takes on a curious edge, a chill, which persists for a sharp moment, then fades into a dull fear. If I have given offense, forgive me. Forgive me. You would know more than I. Why are you afraid? I do not know. It is an old feeling. I do not know where it stems from. It was a word that arose when you saw me. It is said watchers see much that others do not, and I have been hidden from the eyes of others for some time. Okay. How is it that no one can see
Their
you?
eyes see me, but their minds will not remember past the call.
A call? My face is like the call of a newborn, hiding the face beneath, and from my body, I am able to wrap myself as a mother cradling her child. I am here as you see me, but to them their eyes see only the cloak that I wear, a peasant mother, dirty, shabby, not worth knowing. As a watcher you see more than others. To the eyes of most I am as unseen as the spirits you share memories with. How are you able to affect minds? I divert the flow of their senses down a different path to a place easily forgotten. It is not unwelcome when one does not desire the presence of others. The surface of their minds register a figure, but the memory slips away. They see a woman, but there is no desire for conversation, no desire for any questions, and I have none to ask. This is a lot like Cole. When we first met, how was I able to enter your dream?
I do not know. What do you speak of? If you were in my thoughts, I feel your presence, nor do I know what you saw there.
Ranger. Nice. As she speaks, you suddenly feel an odd sensation in your mind, like the blood of the hunt welling up in you. You suddenly realize that whether she permits it or not, you could enter her dream and observe it without her ever knowing. There is something about her mind, like a weapons rack, where you could reach in and draw forth a blade if you wished and keep it as your own. Wow. And suddenly you find yourself back in her, your present thoughts, though you were away for but a moment. She seems unaware of your diversion of thought. It may be one of your gifts, an ability to walk in memories as easily as someone walks upon the ground. We'll try again. My mind is open to you as it was before when we met. I could not stop you if I wished. I do not want to impose, I seek your permission. My memory is not as it was, much has been forgotten. If you would walk in my thoughts, I have nothing hidden. My thoughts feel strangely apologetic and welcoming both at once. Perhaps you may learn something that will strengthen you, or a clue to what has caused this terrible burning of the fields of souls and halted Berat's wheel. Her mind gives way, your passage almost unnoticed as you enter her as before, circling the memory you shared when you first met. And suddenly you were calm, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. I already did this, blah blah blah. I already saw this, blah blah blah. Thank you for the follow, Brandhauser. Welcome to the Arvanauts. Thank you very much, Brandhauser. Welcome in. I walked again in your dreams, thoughts, and I believe your memories. A mixture of curiosity and fear wells up between you. She raises her left hand, the chiming at her wrist quelling the rise within her. She is frightened, but curiosity anchors her.
And what did you see in my memories? I would hear you speak of them.
The dream, the memory I saw upon meeting you, it was you helping give birth to a child. There is silence, and as your breath falls still, you hear the faint cry of a child in the distance, a newborn child almost exactly like what you heard in the dream. Thank you, Dragonspear. As you listen, the grieving mother raises both her hands as if weaving, her wrist chiming as she does so. In her semblance of the gentle turning she provided while the newborn was crowning, to your surprise you recognize the motions and the words from the memory, even as they are new to you. As she weaves her hands through the air in front of her, the child's cries grow still. Yet the sound of the chimes weaves almost hypnotically into your thoughts. The sky seems sharp and clear, and you feel as if you are towering over your surroundings, as if kneeling atop a great pillar, just as she did in the memory. To your surprise, the grieving mother falls as if her strings were cut, and her knees crack hard against the ground. Her hands never cease moving in the air, the chimes echoing her movement. In a ragged voice, you hear her speak. The voice is that of a much older woman than the one before you, harsh, almost desperate. You always wanted to be a Nott, and now you are.
Tell me what you saw. Show me what you saw. Where were you?
A mountain ledge? Oh, nice. I think it was high up. Snow, I think? She leans back as if looking back at the sky, but her eyes are closed, the film building on them. With a slow intake of breath, you feel time become quiet around you. I do not feel the memory. I do not know if it is mine, but... Her hair falls across her feelings again like a veil, and she nods, not with her chin, but a push in her mind. But thank you for trying. Help you recall it. Okay, let's see.
Tell me what you saw. Show me. The stone of the plateau. Its color. Tell me its color.
Silver Adra? As you watch, her hands rise before her. She clasps them, now cups them as if feeling them for the first time, and she stares down at the cradle of her hands, and the chimes sound once, twice, as they swing with the movement.
And what did these hands hold?
I gotta try that again.
Tell me what you saw. Show
Okay.
the stone of the plateau.
Yep.
And what did these hands hold?
God damn it.
Tell
let's
me
see.
what you saw.
Forest.
The stone of the plateau.
Adra.
And what did these hands hold?
Child you're bringing forth, and the hands I don't recall. There is a sudden intake of breath, and then a release. Her eyes blur closed, forming into slits, but in the brief glimpse you have of her changing expression, the rippling pain in her features seems to have smoothed. She swallows once, twice, and then you feel her once again in your thoughts, the rasping husk of her voice swallowed and drawn within her.
It was the birthing bell you saw.
What is your
It's
quest?
been so long.
I know, right?
Have I forgotten so much?
With the words comes a river of impulses, thoughts, as if loosed from a breaking dam, and as your mind wraps the impulses into words, you realize it is her muscles and her hardened thoughts relaxing and breathing again. There is such an intensity you almost want to step back from the flow, but you find the wave of impulses cause questions to float to the surface. Among them is a name, Watcher. What is the birthing bell?
It is a plateau formed of the spirit stone Audra.
Time's a
At its top
lady.
is set a great bell, cradled in the reaching arm of the plateau. It stirs in the wind, and it sounds for leagues when struck by kith hands. In distant times, the great bell served as a Glenfathan watchtower, perhaps.
All
Why they
along
abandoned
the
it, I do not know.
watchtower.
Other men came in time, settlers, and claimed the tower as their own. I, in turn, claimed it from them. The pillar became a cradle where I could draw new souls into the world.
In your memory, were you helping a woman give birth?
Yes. Yet, I believe you only saw a small part of the birthing ritual. It is not all in a moment, nor in a day. It is a journey of many years between the child, the mother, and I.
There was much I could do to aid the mother. Some sought the physical comforts of ritual to steady their thoughts, even Adra from the bell. Others would seek advice, words of counsel for the days ahead. I was able to provide drafts, tinctures, and a reading of the child's spirit, all to strengthen the mother. Can you tell me about the birthing ritual?
was one of many steps. It took many tens of
Thorg.
years to carve them, but always the child's thoughts were there to guide me from the moment it began to awaken, to the 3 seasons within the mother, to the birthing day, and the years to follow. The child's thoughts, that is where it began. The expectant mother, I could often sense her thoughts, and those of her child, before she could, I would soothe her, free her from the panic of questions. I would sound the memory of the birthing bell atop the plateau in her mind, letting the memory of the vibrations fill my thoughts and hers. Often, the child's soul could hear it too, so the sound of the bell echoed in the mother's thoughts.
It's interesting. You sense the mother's thoughts? Sharing memories and thoughts can bond lives together, as can hardships, and most of all, the sharing of what is familiar. The bell itself provided shelter for such thoughts, opportunities to see deep into the crevice, hollows in the rock where one could find shelter, clefts where you could feel the Adra all around you. As she speaks, you feel your legs bent, crossed, and the warmth of walls around you, and blankets woven thick beneath you. Such shared images can bond souls even tighter and allow them to draw strength from each other. You mentioned the ritual lasted years. What would happen after the birth? Once the pain is channeled away and the mother and child breathe again, I sound the birthing bells on my wrists and allow the mother to hear the child's thoughts, the ringing echoing in each other's thoughts. The bells open the way between them, let her feelings pass into the newborn, and let her feel the child in return. And when the feelings meet, that is when I weave another memory and leave it tied in their minds. I would bet money that the person who wrote this recently had a child or is a parent and may even have watched their child being born in a home birth or, like in a birthing center, as I did. Because my child was born in a home birth and I watched her the minute she entered the world, I was there. So, I would not surprise me if the person who wrote this character maybe they're not a parent, but they're deeply connected to one, I bet. Do these bells play an important role in the birthing process? Yeah, no kidding, dude. Yes, and for years after, I gave a set to the child after a delivery. It is a reminder of the memory the mother and child shared. You feel an odd sensation, a warmth, and you can feel a smile being shared. Then it flickers and it is gone. As the bells coax the child forth, so they accompany the child onwards, fastened about the wrists, to care for him in mind and body. There is no magic in it except the magic of practicality. If a child sought to leave their cradles or escape their cribs, the mother could know through the warning of the chimes alone. At times, if the bond was strong, so would I. The sensation of a smile comes again, slower, more knowing between you. If not watched, children, much trouble may be had from tiny hands. The chimes are kept until the child needs them no longer. When I no longer can hear them sounding in my mind, I know their spirit has changed, and the bonds we shared are long gone. This shedding may last many years, or but a few, but it is necessary. You watched over these children for years after their births? Children are fragile things. Even the ties of blood and mind may not be enough. They must be watched, and even then the body may fail the mind. But if watched, even the most sickly child may cling to life if determined enough, and many of their souls were tied to me. I know, right, Dragon? Exactly. I assume there's some sarcasm there. Yeah, no, it was a home birth, so it was in my living room, actually, at our previous place where we lived. If a child's spirit failed, I could sound the chimes in their mind and grant them strength, even from afar. It did not always serve, but it gave hope. It sounds like you've seen tragedy, too. Enough to never wish to feel it again. In the times before the bell, children who died were cast upon the waters of the lake beyond the bell, sometimes while alive if their paths and futures were deemed weak. It was a different time. Children were treated carelessly. Those times are past. Other questions about the birthing bell. Why would you give a telling of a child's spirit?
Many would come seeking their child's future, or a reading into the child's past, the lives its soul is said to have lived.
There is a slow chill, and for a moment it seems as if she's going to fade from your vision, as if she can't bear to be seen, and there is a spike of fear, alarm.
Such things are not mine to see. I meant no offense.
Oddly enough, speaks not to you, audience, blah blah blah, watcher. You're frightened, something about watchers. As the thought of watchers crosses your mind, you feel a sharp pain, stabbing, and the sudden burn of lashes across your back and shoulder, and then it is gone, and you feel the grieving mother before you, silent, almost fearful, wary. It's that dude from the Leaden Key, I bet. I was something else, but because the title Watcher was cast on me, the word carried a weight I had neither earned nor deserved. The world seems filled with such titles. They distract, I think, from the actions of the person, from their strengths. Oh, yeah. Well, it was not easy. I mean, I'll tell you that right now, Dragon. It was a little bit traumatizing, yes. Mostly because I was watching my wife go through it and kind of helpless. I mean, like, you know, father can't do anything other than just be with her, you know, so. Why did you believe you were a Watcher?
The world has many corners, and in some corners the name Watcher is more known. It is an easier title than others, and at times it is easier to wear. Placing a title upon what is unknown can dispel the fear of it.
Oh my
But I
god.
did not fight it. I even believed it true, though I knew little of the ways of Watchers. It even granted me strength.
What's up, Graydon? I was able to see the thoughts of others, shape them, and help guide souls. Watchers seemed enough, and the name seemed to matter little in the light of one's acts. But if they came to you to read their child's souls, what did you tell them?
I
Children's souls.
drew upon the present. I felt the soul of the mother before me, and used that to tell the child's path, to give it a voice. If only the thoughts of the mother and the emotions that lie beneath were mine to impart. I did, and so I used that as the telling of their child's future.
What if it turned out to be untrue?
Futures fulfilled by one's own spirit are as strong as anything seen by another's eyes. And if one draws from the emotion of the mother, it matters only when harm is done.
Yeah, I would. Who wrote her, Thorg?
And their lives I knew well.
Is this Avalon?
I could weave their lives.
Is this Chris
their
Avalon,
thoughts
Thorg?
over time, to the mother, to the child. And once the child had been born, was sheltered, I could relax the threads of thought until the child could stand on its own.
So you shaped their thoughts, made the readings true. This is my calling, to show them the life I see before them, and even greater, make them believe it. That is not what a Watcher does. We do not shape minds, we see them as they are. Even the most strongly worded tells may not be enough to save a child and allow it to be born. It is Chris Avalon. Well, there you go. See, guys, and this explains why I found him interesting. Because Chris Avalon is the writer of Planescape Torment. One of the better stories ever done in a game. So, that's interesting. Hey, Thorg, did Avalon, did Avalon write Durance? If Avalon wrote Durance, then I've got to say, then that's, because so far the two characters I found most interesting are, I mean, I like other characters in this, but the ones I found most interesting are this one and Durance so far. Did he write Durance also? That'd be funny if he did. If I have the strength to strip away the stem of a mother's spite to expose kindness, weave nurturing from disdain and neglect, then that is my calling.
And with the weight of Watcher behind my thoughts, these tells
He also wrote
gained
Durance.
Strength I never possessed on my own.
Nice.
They believed. And what they believed became the truth. With each child that was set upon that path, the title of Watcher became stronger.
That's really cool. You know, Avalon is really good at this stuff. He really is. Yeah, what's up, Psychotic Hamster? I'm not saying that Durance isn't a douche. I'll agree with that. But the point is, and I like Ader, I'm just saying as far as consistency of character and the interest, sort of the complexity of the character, so far Durance and this one have been the ones that are close. From Max Gladstone's first novel. You know, I have not read any of Max Gladstone, Floridan. Believe it or not, I have not read any of Gladstone. All of these people are on my to-be-read list, and it's kind of hard.
You must understand, without such weight upon my words, many lives would have been lost, drowned, cast in the lake beyond the bell. Now the trail to the lake is lost and reclaimed by the forest, as was meant. A Watcher was not there to look over us, but it was a Watcher that saved them, and with a Watcher's strength, children were born, were cared for, and grew strong.
It's fair enough. It seems your readings were necessary.
What use is a frightened will when a spirit is at stake? Would you let the fears of a mother end her newborn's life? You felt it in the memory, the weight of it, the importance of the child's life. It was a memory we shared.
Did we share that memory, or did you inflict it on me? And suddenly there was a rasping cry across your consciousness. She raises her hands, and you see the chimes draped from them, yet they make no sound as she moves. A greater good was done, and children were saved. It is a choice you may be forced to make one day, and when faced with it, you'll make the same one. When that happens, I'll be making my own choice. This choice is not yours to make, Watcher. You will do the world as the world needs, as its children need. It is greater than you and your twist of sight. Actually, it's not necessarily. Alright, I already read this stuff. The birthing bell, where is it located? That's what I wanted to ask. The birthing bell lies deep in the great forest of the Dyrwood at the borders of Glanfithin lands. Surrounding it, barely a town, not one you would find on any map, but it held an important place for those there, even if we were far from the beaten track. Small families tied like a knot joined at the wrists in mind and thought. All were welcomed. All had purpose. Okay, what about you? And I, you. In asking, we reveal ourselves to each other. Why are you called the grieving mother? The air seems to grow still for a moment, and time stretches as it did before when the two of you first met. There is a wash of uncertainty from her mind, slowly shaping into questions that swirl and do not coalesce. She does not move. She seems paralyzed, as if you have just wrapped her in a cold blanket.
That is a question for you, not I. That is not my name, although if you wish to hang the title on me, I cannot stop you. Is that what you see when your eyes fall upon me?
Oh, so I named her? As a watcher, you may see what I do not, or your mind shapes the thoughts I project into a new meaning. There is truth in that title, but it is not all I am. So what do you grieve, then? You must have felt it, seen it. It has as many names as the pain it has caused. As the words take shape, they seem to tumble from her, and the wave is great, rushing into your mind. To your surprise, you feel as if you've been touched by the bivouac again, and behind it, cutting through the torrent like a knife, are the thoughts of the grieving mother. There is a wound cut across the belly of the world, a jagged knife that has stripped the stems from men and carved furrows across the wombs of women. There is much I have forgotten, but I can feel the wound all around me. It will not let me rest, not let me be. The children have gone silent, yet their voices may be heard again. Are you speaking of the Hollowborn? The word was once unknown to me, as was much of what unfolded in the outside world. When the curse came upon us, I thought it a smaller thing, a thing of communities and hearths. It was only when I walked that I feel it stretching out around me in all the cracks of the world. Children have been cursed. I do not think it was something they caused, nor something deserved. That which is inside them has been torn away. I do not know how, but this wound must be stitched closed. The world bleeds forth from between a woman's legs. If this blood is not stemmed, the world will die and grow quiet. Do you know its cause? There is a desperation and a welling fear. You can almost feel her thoughts shivering, and you realize she is as lost as you are on the matter, and then a sudden, sharp clarity. I shall know it. Through you. Your eyes will track the cause, find the path, and I will be beside you. There is no wound that cannot be healed, and if you are truly a watcher, then this wound may be seen for what it is. You saw me where I hid. Whoever's hands have stilled the world, you shall see them too. And if there is no way to heal it, what then? I will be there, and you will do what must be done. You were given... Stop telling what I'm going to do, lady. You were... Stacy wrecked. You were... Oh, Demiser. You were given your sight that you may watch the world, and you will tend it. The children shall have their voice again. If your will is weak, then I shall strengthen it. You're not going to listen, lady. Not going to get in my head. Lean on me, as I lean upon you. Oh. You shall be my eyes, and I shall be your hands, as I shall be your hands when the time comes. What do you think of Dyrwood and the Empire? Those titles are markings on a map and channel people's minds in violent directions. Such things are a threadbare blanket cast over the world where men and women seek more importance than simply being. How do you see the world, then? The world is a field of souls tilled by Bareth's wheel. The thought of cultures and territories do not concern me. the sowing and harvest of the field does. Barrett's wheel is slowed, perhaps stopped altogether. Whatever words, titles, laws, and blades not devoted to carving away the harm or healing that wound holds little importance for me. Okay. Wow. There's a whole lot there. Learn of the grieving mother's past.
I'm here.
Oh, I've got to change the formation here. Actually, no, that's right. I want her in the same spot. All right, but I've got to get an arbalist. Right? Exactly, Thorg. Nothing sexier than a lying midwife.
Greetings.
Thought I sold you an arbalest. Here's an arbalest. 21 to 30, pierce versus deflection, +4 accuracy. Okay. Or 22 to 32. All right. All right. There we go. All right, well, we're going to see what she's like. Oh, nice, Five. Have fun with the kids, Five. Have fun with the kids. They are a good time for sure. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in a couple days. Okay. So that took care of that. So now I just have to go up here to the apothecary and then up there to the tower. And then, let's see how we're doing on time. Okay. I'm going to take a break, and then we'll come back and do the second half
Of course.
of the stream. Hey, what's up, Shadow? I am the Shadow. What's up, man? Ledger lies open on the desk. It lists purchase and sale amounts for various alchemical ingredients and concoctions. Oh, God. Really? You're just some dude? I'm not going anywhere. It's like, goodbye, Thorg.
You work for the Dukes of the Valian Republics, huh?
For as long as they will allow.
Hawk?
Must be nice always knowing who you're supposed to serve.
Well, there are 5 of them, but even so, knowing who is easier than knowing how. Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
Look at this zealous focus. I like that. +6 accuracy. That's pretty sweet. That's because of Pallegina. Okay. What's your story? Young woman leans against a wagon. One arm and one side of her face are covered in bandages. And then something else that I can't see because... There we go. With raw, rippled flesh showing underneath. A minty, tangy scent wafts from her dressing. She smiles painfully. Just ventured into town? I'm about dry on some of my stocks, but you're welcome to have a look-see. Actually, I'm looking for a missing noblewoman. Oh, that lord's daughter? She was new shade of green when I seen her the other morning. Chatting with Trigol she was, just outside his shop. We're talking about morning sickness. Was she pregnant? Aye, and worked into a state about it she was. That girl was so sick she didn't even notice Trigol's stink. I offered her some herbs to take care of the problem. Thought it might save her some trouble with her old man, but she wouldn't have it. That's the information. Let's see. You said your supplies are limited. What happened? It's the damn roads. I can't reach none of my suppliers, so I'm stuck with whatever I can scrounge up in the wood. Deer cap, river reed, and the like. That's well and good, but most potions require something stronger, too. Troll skin, vessel bone, what have you. And then there's the really rare ingredients, Things you never be able to afford, let alone find on your own. Arf time! I'm glad, gentlemen. That's awesome, dude. What did you find? Hendana winces as the rest of the story comes tumbling out of her. I've been keeping an eye on a drake's nest east of town at Deerford Crossing. The beast stayed just long enough to lay a clutch and moved on. Thank the Sky Mother it wasn't a full-grown dragon. Fresh eggs are much more useful than the ones that get passed between merchants or left in nests for weeks or more, and that clutch looked to be at its peak. Thought I'd see about getting an egg, but I didn't realize so many of them had already hatched, or the young worms are so territorial. I'll get an egg for you. I sure hope you're not leading me on. I don't think I could stand getting burned again. If you really mean to go after it, I'd certainly pay you. Just remember, big as they are, dragon eggs are fragile, and there's a lot more I can do with a whole one. Tell me again about the dragon egg? It's in a nest is perched in a cliff on the east end of Deerford Crossing. It's out in the wilds just east of here. I'm sure there are others elsewhere, but the one at Deerford Crossing is just the age I need. If you head out that way, be careful. The place was crawling with worms when I went out there, not anywhere else. How'd you get burned? Why the flame? How bad does it look? Just say it. I know you'll tell me straight. It looks like it hurts. It's a mighty soft way of putting it. Told you about my run-in with the worms. I reckon you put the rest together already. What's wrong with the roads? Brigands, looters, you name it. The gods may be hollowing at our babies, but it's grown folk that's rubbing out the rest of us. People are scrambling to Defiance Bay because they hear there's healthy births there. And all those refugees and abandoned homes attract desperate sorts like flies on dog shit. Alright. Okay. Eggs. Dragon eggs! And I remember doing that in the beta. Alright, let's go find out what's going on with the tower here. And then when we're ready to leave here and head to Deerford Crossing, I will take my break.
Yes.
Huh? Hmm?
Hey, Jesus! Hey, what's up, G? I have not seen you in ages. Am I hyped for Baldur's Gate 3? Well, yeah, man. I'm hyped for all of it. I'm hyped for Sword Coast Legends. I'm hyped for The Witcher 3. I'm hyped for Arkham Knight. I'm hyped for Numenera. Hyped for lots of games. How you been, G? Good to see you, man. G's an old-timer in my channel. Good to see you, man. Dyes full of wooden vats. They smell of dung and plant matter. All right, what's up, Trigal?
How do you do?
A sturdy, broad-shouldered man wipes his hands in his slacks. He reeks of the same foul compound wafting from the vats, and his arms are stained with dye. You looking to purchase some leather? What can you tell me about Alis Harrand? Only that her father's men have been banging down doors and stirring up trouble looking for her. I never met her myself. Hendina said you two had met. Did she now? And what else did she say? Adis was pregnant. Really? That would explain a lot. Her father's dragged her out here to get hitched to some backwoods noble. She wanted an escape, all right, and I was happy to give it to her. We snuck across the river a few nights ago for some private time. Come to find out we weren't exactly alone. An ogre taller than Winfred's tail sprung out of the forest, and we were so lost in the heat of the moment we didn't notice it until it was upon us. It grabbed Alis and disappeared into the night before I could even pull my britches up. Don't take this the wrong way, but this shop smells like an outhouse. Am I really to believe that a lord's daughter snuck into the woods with you? Curb that clever tongue of yours. I'm afraid there's no right way to take that, stranger. I meant no offense. I'm just trying to find her. As I was saying, the ogre vanished with her. Probably took her to its lair, wherever that is. She could still be alive. I'm in no shape to go after her, but that Harren looks like he'd have coppers to spare for anyone who found her. Others around here have seen the ogre east of town. Took most of Rumbold's pigs just the other day. If someone were to find her, there'd be a lot of grateful people in Deerford. You've been in Canada for the past 5 months studying business. Nice, G. No time at all for other things, working and studying. Yeah, I hear you. Exactly, Thorg. Sketchy guy is sketchy. Where in Canada, G? Are you up in Toronto? I was just up in Toronto a couple weeks ago. Something else you need? Rumbold mentioned something about an ogre. He's hardly talked about anything else since those pigs of his went missing. The whole town's been worried about that monster. People are starting to see shapes in their windows at night, hearing its growl and the snoring of their mates. It would put a lot of minds at ease if someone got rid of it. I sometimes venture into the wilderness, and collecting ingredients for my dyes, mind you. I've seen tracks east of here near the river that couldn't have been anything else. It's a little bizarre since I just talked to you about the ogre. What's in the collapsed tower? It's collapsed. Nothing. A few hides on stretching racks and the tallow stench Dengler's always grumbling about. The rest of the keep's dust, just like the fool Lady Thanu who tried to hold it. There's a bard at the inn who'll tell you the whole blazing story if you want to hear it. What do you have for sale? Ah. Girdle of Mortal Protection. Decrease critical hit damage. Okay. And +1 endurance. Ah. I will take both of those. Constitution +3. I like that. Huh. Except the cod piece might be an issue. Okay. She's got the regeneration thing going on. Increases crit damage. That I'm going to save for later. Alright, so the Ogre's Lair. A lot of reasons to go to the Ogre's Lair, obviously. One for Chit Chat Elf. Speak to Turgo if you got questions. You're living in Scarborough, 10 minutes from Toronto. Oh, nice, man. Yeah, I was just up there for a convention a couple weeks ago at Astra. Nice, man. So how's Canada? You enjoying it? Okay, good. So that is all set to go. So let's get up here. And let's see. We're going to be looking for the Ogre's Lair. Ogre's Lair for Farmer's Plight and for that. So we're going to take care of that and then the ruins, of course. What's up, Hippo? High school teachers are on strike. Man, Hippo, every time I turn around, you're reporting a new strike. What's up, Diddy? Don't send me back to Brazil. It's a mess there. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Miser. Okay, I just want to check something. Deerford Crossing. Okay, and that's where I need to go. So Deerford Crossing, I need to do that stuff. And then Cleoban Relag I need to do for the main quest and also for Ader as well. So that is what I will do, but we're going to do that after my break. It's too damn cold. Yes, I can hear that. I would imagine that would be a little bit difficult. Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right, folks. So I'm going to take my break. It's about 11:15. As I said, I'm only going until about 12:30 tonight, because at the latest, because I have school tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Monday schedule, which is unusual, but this is the last full week of school, and so they wanted to get caught up, I think, on weather stuff and things like that. So I have got some grading to do and stuff, and I obviously can't get to bed too late. So we are going to take about a 10-minute break here. So I will be back at you right around 11:30 or so, maybe just a little bit before that, and then we will go for about another hour, and then we'll wrap up, and then I'll see you again on Thursday. But we got some time to go until then, so I will leave you in the capable hands of, say, Demiser with his 5-minute D&D, if he wants to do one. I don't want to make him do one if he doesn't want to. But I'll be back at you in about a little bit over 10 minutes or so. So hang tight.
Through sand I'm slowly sifting, past land I'm slowly drifting. This ship I'm finally taking home. Each time I had to find it, each time I had to time it. This time I headed home alone. This run was easy business. This space that bore no witness. This time would be an easy score. I'd find it with no trouble. My profit I would double. I'd earn expenses back and more. So long to climb, so long to fall. In all the time, I almost had it all. Laces all the twos, a circumstance that's strange. My loss to choose, my future rearranged. The second week from land, my destination close to hand. We'd had no trouble yet at all. Then almost past my sight, I saw the bird in flight. I heard the albatrosses call. This run was easy business. This space that bore no witness. This time would be an easy score. I'd make it with no trouble. My profit I would double. I'd earn expenses back and more. So long to climb, so long to fall. In all the time, I almost had it all. Aces all the twos, a circumstance that's strange. My loss to choose, my future rearranged. clouds would shine at once and take your light from me. If all the oceans rose until there was less land than sea. If all the thunder crashed at once and left me deaf and dumb. If all the clouds arose in jealous rage and blotted out the sun. I'd still fight to keep you close. I won't risk losing you after we've come so far. Oh no, I won't let go. I'll make it so I'll stop staying. I'll have you for all time. 'Cause you will be life is a total lie. If everything we felt was real was finally denied. If all that we had once believed was shown to be untrue. If all that either of us had was me and you. Well, I'd still fight to keep you close. I won't risk losing you after we've come so far. Oh no, I won't let go. I'll make it so I'll stop staying. I'll have you for all time.
Wow. That's interesting. All right, so I see that we ended with death, which often seems to happen in these scenarios. That's good to know. Welcome back, everybody. 1,000 dice, yes, and let's not go crazy. I just don't want things to break. Please, God, no. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Good to see everyone back here, and yeah, let's get back into it as we proceed out of the town and head to the next quest area. Accompanying me, by the way, on my journey is this bowl of what's left of the vanilla almond granola that I poured in. Vanilla almond granola. Good times. 4 hours. I will do it. Deerfoot Crossing is 4 hours from Deerfoot Village. That's a good ways away, man. Yeah, I know, right? So what would have happened if he had held on to the dragon, Demiser? Okay, here we are. So I've already been down to this grisly cave before, but I'm going to go down there again because that's where the ogre is. So let's do it. Because now I'm prepared for it. Prepared to take this thing on. I need more stealth giblets. I know, right? What? Seriously, right? What's up, Bertimus? All right. We're about to see how the grieving mother is going to do in combat. That's fair enough. Did you roll to pin? Yes, indeed. Okay. The cave. Remember your failure at the cave.
The better part of valor.
Alright, find the ogre's lair. Search the cave at Deerfoot Crossing. Alright, now we're going to see how well... Oh, boy. We're going to see how well the troops handle things this time around. Okay, you are marked for death. Let's see. Palagina, I would like you to enact your greatness upon them. You just keep on keeping on doing what you're doing while you build up your stuff. Let's debuff you. And let's see what you can do here, Cypher. Oh boy. Okay, let's see. Knockdown. Let's do that. You don't have your things built up yet. Let's do that.
Hey.
Fire! Still! Fire! Still!
Okay. So far, so good. You don't have your thing up quite yet.
My fate! Fire! Fire!
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Still!
Let's see. Okay. Well, we got a lot of guys here. lot of guys.
Run. Slowly, guys.
Okay. Alright, what do we got here? In front of the tooltips, wouldn't it be better on the right side? But the problem is that a lot of times when you're dealing with guys on the right side, all the inventory and all that stuff shows up there, G, so I'd have to be constantly switching it back and forth was the problem. At least that was my theory. Okay. Wounding shot. This is a good little fight here. Let's see. Do you have you do have your thing up? Excellent. Worms up. And Dorrance, I would like you to Pillar of Faith these guys, please. Okay. Wounding shot you. Hater, if you'd please knock down that person. You already got your thing set. Oh, wait, I can't do that. Well, I got spiders from both areas, so I hope that's going to be worth it.
We are one hero watcher.
Okay. Nice. All right. I know, right? Wow, that was quite a little fight right there. That was quite a little fight. And I aggroed them from both rooms, which is a good sign, I would think. As usual, no loot to speak
What? On your word.
of. Oh,
Gwen?
neither one of you have field triage, do you?
Freros, seres.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Okay. Alright, well, that was, under the circumstances, not too bad, since I aggroed both sides.
Laying low. I shall.
Good little fight, but they handled it. No, sir, I don't like it. Talk to Grieving Mother. I think this, if I remember correctly from the beta, this is where the ogre
Someone's
showed
a
up.
messy eater.
Okay. That's the ogre, so we're going to deal with the ogre in just a second. Well, as soon as we save it. I know, right? Vita, Mortis,
I'm here.
Cario. So I still don't fully understand how she regained. Does she just start with 50 focus at the beginning of every fight? Is that the idea? Where's the ogre? Yeah, there he is. What's up, bro? Korgrak. As you advance into the darkness, the ground begins to tremble. You hear plodding... Yeah, I know, right? Exactly, Thorg. Well, my guys are a little bit better now. You hear plodding footfalls, growling breaths, and bone-snapping crunches. An ogre steps out of the shadows, 10 feet tall and bulging with muscle. He tears a mouthful from a hoofed, pink-fleshed limb and tosses it aside. He watches you from under the thick ridge of his brows. Too well equipped to be a villager. A bandit from the road, then. Must be. The ogre snorts and tightens his grip around a club. I've kept to myself. Killed no one but the fools reckless enough to chase me down here. Why have you come looking for me? I'm looking for a young elven noblewoman. She's gone missing. I've done my best to avoid Kith, especially the kind that might give rise to search parties. I never came here, of that I'm sure. Then I'll look elsewhere. First, I want to ask you something more. Speak. Fast. A farmer from Deerfoot claims you ate his pigs. Then I should have eaten the blazing farmer. I underestimated the love these villagers have for their swine. Calm down. Perhaps you could tell me something else. What? What are you doing in this cave? Hiding from your kind. Kith driven from their homes by strange storms. Bandits out for blood and coin. My kind is unsafe around Kith at the best of times, but now, tempers run hot and ogre blood is valued among your alchemists. I notice you're favoring your leg. You're weakened. And it won't stop me from braining you and any other raider foolish enough to pursue me here. Well, that didn't go well. Alright, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a big problem. Let's do that. And you are marked for death. Okay, we do that. You need to heal yourself pronto. Let's see. You need to lay on hands. You need to just keep hurrying up and chant. You need to do that. Okay. Let's see. Now. Dominate! Ha ha ha! And now it is time to attack you, ogre. He is dominated. Dominate. Dominated. Yeah! Woohoo! Down goes Fraser. Nice work, grieving mother. Nice work. Oh, and an ogre's head. The head of the ogre Korgak, one-time scourge of Deerfoot. The immense trophy leaks liquid foulness and a trail everywhere it is carried, and the smell is overwhelming. And ogre blood. I did, I interrupted. Hey, listen, it wasn't my fault. Thank you for the, thanks for the host, Wes. Thanks, We Are the Romantics. What's up, Wes? Good to see you, man. Listen, man. Wasn't my fault. Just because the dude didn't understand, decided to get after me and attack, I was like, looks like you're weak, and he's like, I'll be able to kill you, blah, blah, blah. So it wasn't the ogre, it was Trigal. I know. I know, Meanie is exactly right. Skulls and bones from an assortment of kith and beasts litter the cavern. They've been crushed, scored, gnawed, and punctured by something with fangs as thick as an Amao's finger. There's a lot of skulls and skeletons.
I shall.
Let's see what lies this way.
Alright. So took care of the ogre. You got the ogre to hang out at your keep? God damn it, really, Thorg? Well. I mean, I didn't get aggressive on him until he attacked me. He attacked me first, man. You decorate the place with skulls, yes. Certainly seems like it. I like the team so far, except I'm not crazy about how much Pallegina is losing in terms of health and stuff. Constitution's good, but I need her to improve. I don't know. I gotta figure out a way to reduce her damage more. I mean, she's supposed to be an off-tank anyway, but... I know, right? Exactly. Hireling payday. How long we got on this, by the way? 19 hours before the craft hall is finished. And the next step after that is probably going to be... I think I've only got one more thing I can do with security, if I'm not mistaken. So the next thing after that's probably going to be the towers. And that will be that, because that'll be the last... That's the last security thing I have to do. Everything else is just going to be prestige. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I actually have a lot more things. I was about to say, oh, I've almost got it all upgraded, then I realized I didn't. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. Alright. Let's see. Okay, let's get the Widowmaker there. Let's get you to increase your accuracy. Let's mark you for death. Let's debuff everybody. And you just fight. Okay. Those charm abilities are nice.
My mind feels poison.
Okay, let's lay hands on yourself. You would please knock down.
Poison.
Now we turn to you. Let's see. Please lay hands on yourself.
But I'm
Nice. Nice. Well done. Yeah, I'm starting to see how her abilities are going to be pretty nasty. If she's got that effect of charming on a lot of these creatures,
Indeed.
that's going to be pretty nice if that's what happens. There may be a certain point, actually, at which I'm pretty sure that along here at some point I end up fighting some big, like, Spider Queen type. Pretty sure.
Yes?
Yep, there it is. I thought so. Alright. Let's debuff you guys. Grieving Mother, I really need you to take over her in the worst way. I need you to take her over. Let's see. I need you to just keep chanting your little head off. I need you to go after them. I need you to do that. And you are marked for death. Yes! Oh my god, she can dominate the Spider Queen? Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay. Okay, that's pretty freaking impressive, I'm going to say right now.
It's no use. I need something stronger.
Oh, that was too good to last.
Always on fire.
Can you do it again?
Fills my brain.
Okay. Lay on hands on you.
Fire fills my
Okay.
veins. Freros, seres.
Okay, I really need you to keep her alive. Really need that to happen.
Fills my veins.
I'm here.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about, people. And by over-leveled, you mean perfectly leveled, right, G? When you say over-leveled, you mean I'm over-leveled I'm leveled just right, right? That's what you're talking about? I mean, it didn't last very long against the Spider Queen, but it didn't need to. That's pretty nasty. That's pretty nasty.
I'm here.
They shall see nothing while I see much.
Yeah, that went pretty amazingly. It sure did. Now, it helped that I knew there was a queen in here, because this was the beta area. So it helped that I knew there was a spider queen here somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I think I actually did, when I played the beta, I'm pretty sure I got smoked by the queen. I can't remember, but... leveling works not through killing, but through questing. There's a little bit of experience you get from as you go through enemies. There's like a bestiary that you fill out, but it's not as good as the quest experience. Let's see, I've got another 3,500 roughly, give or take, before I get to level 9. I'm pretty impressed with Grieving Mother, I have to say. I'm pretty impressed. Yeah, it did go smoothly. I mean, I feel like I'm also using my characters efficiently. The only one that I haven't really figured out all how to use yet is the Grieving Mother, but the rest of these guys, this has been my standard party. Pallegina is just a standard paladin. Only thing I'm not happy about right now is I feel like Pallegina is still not, still taking too much damage. I want her to be taking a little bit less damage. Other than that, though, I'm pretty good, I feel like. A little concerned about how low her health is, though, and I don't have any field triage stuff left, so... What's up, Batty? Good to see you, man. I didn't see you. I was too busy watching Gentleman claim that I was going to lose a fight. When he was incorrect. Nice. Keep forgetting I have these figurines, too. In fact, you know what? That should clearly be what you're doing. Do you have 8 lore? Tell me you have 8 lore. You have 12 lore. Okay, good. You do then. You are perfectly suited for it. Okay. And for you... that should go up there. You are a summoning type. There's no question about that. Okay. You meant all the bad guys died. Thick webs ripple in the cavern breeze. Mummified remains are tangled within them. You don't like Kana? I kind of like Kana. I don't understand. I've noticed some other people who are down on Kana. I don't know why. I feel like he's alright. Kind of like him. You know what you're getting with him. Oh, did I really clear this cave out? Oh, I did. Huh. Outstanding. Nice. Khan equals the best dressed. He does look like a jester. Oh, I see. No, it's a guy. It's an Ama, actually. Skaean cultist robes. Okay. Skaean initiate's hood. Tattered note. The note is bloodstained and torn, and the edges are smudged with some kind of pigment. From the scraps that are legible, you can make out hastily written instructions. To avoid the entrance in the tower, attract the attention. Deerfoot may be sympathetic to our goals, but they wouldn't approve of a temple. Yet, key to the entrance by the river east of town. Careful on the road, reports of these days tea. In other words, Tyrgul. Alright, that bastard has got a lot to answer for. Corpse carrying a note. A secret temple of some sort with an entrance near the river, another in a tower behind a shop. Sign T. Uh-huh. That bastard. Hey, what's up, Wasabi? No, I know. I know you've never seen me playing it before. Good to see you, Wasabi. What's up, man? A lot of folks coming back in. Good to see some of the older regulars, the old-time regulars coming back. Good to see you guys. Okay. Alright. So now what I have to do is I got to figure out whether I'm going to go into this temple. It should be nearby there. Like, I assume that's the temple right there. The entrance near the river and all that. Okay. Nice. All right. Let's get into... Let's see. I don't know how big this temple is. If it's a huge temple, it probably doesn't make sense, because I want to go to Tyrgul and find out what the hell his problem is. Since obviously he's a lying sack, who was hoping the ogre would kill me. Alright, Stone Beetles. Marked for death, and break. Okay, we're gonna do that. Thought she cast her thing. The spell does not look very impressive when it happens, I have to say.
My mind feels sharp as...
Okay, let's knock that down. Knock that thing down. Wounding shot. That thing go. Nope. Didn't have time to do it. Wounding, sorry. Wounding shot. That thing go. Well, lamb. Nice. Kana is a chanter. So what he does is... I'll show you in just a second here.
On your word.
What Kana does is that he mixes chants, phrases together that shows up on like this stave, this musical stave, and then when they mix together, enough of them mix together, you can cast level spells. When you have 4 chants going simultaneously, Then you can cast second level chanter spells, which is like summon worms, and then there's another paralyze spells as well. So he's pretty cool. That's what Kana does. 2 weeks in China and Hong Kong. About 2 weeks ago, spend time away from the internet. That's cool. Well, welcome back, Wasabi. How was China and Hong Kong, man? Yeah, he's kind of, sort of like a bard, I guess.
Right away.
Hmm?
Hey. I'm here.
Wow.
Not to alarm you, but I'm slowly.
Slowly dying of poison. Oh, I just noticed your little ankh thing there.
Slowly dying of poison.
Nice.
I'm here.
What's up, dog meat? Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because a lot of people argued that dog meat, because a lot of people argue that Dragon Age was trying to do basically old school mechanics from two-dimensional games into a three-dimensional game like Dragon Age was. I am not a big Dragon Age fan. I mean, I like Dragon Age Inquisition. That was decent. It was solid. It was a solid game. I didn't like Dragon Age Origins very much. I've tried it a number of times. I just don't... Something about it doesn't work for me. It feels turgid and slow and kind of just tedious, frankly. I don't know why. I would say I like RPG mechanics that are old school if they are designed to sort of further the game. And I guess by that I mean there are some aspects of, for example, a game like Icewind Dale. One of the reasons I didn't like Icewind Dale when I was playing it solo is that I hated the stupid thing of having to basically rest every fight. I mean, every fight was basically, you fight a bunch of stuff, it's very deadly, you're almost, like, you use up most of your spells, whatever, then you rest, hopefully you're able to rest without getting interrupted, and then you're doing it again. So, like, you would make this ridiculous thing where you'd be, like, traveling for 5 minutes and then resting for, like, 48 hours, you know? Just, like, that stuff I really had a hard time with. So I felt that was an annoying mechanic, and that was partly a function of the second edition rules that they were playing with. So I think it kind of depends. For example, I kind of like the Shadowrun Returns mechanic of a lot of the stuff they use, including Karma and stuff like that. Even though that's, as I like Shadowrun, but I wouldn't say that Shadowrun's my favorite universe. But in terms of, like, the mechanics, I like that a lot. So I guess it just depends on how the game is put together. I really liked Skyrim, too. I found that Skyrim worked really, really well, and that had its own different set of mechanics. So it's not definitely old school versus new school. It's just sort of like game to game, to be honest with you.
Indeed.
You stand within what looks to be a ruined shrine. Moss-covered remains of an ancient statue lies before you. Examine it. Only the broken legs and feet of the sculpture remain. Long grooves alongside it suggest it could be moved. Near the base of the statue, you discover a skull carved into the stone. Examine it. Skull is carved into the stone in intricate relief, its mouth agape. Peering closely, you notice a rusty keyhole between its jaws. Try the key. The key slides easily into socket. You turn it, and the ruined statue begins to move. The displaced pedestal reveals a dark passage descending into the earth.
The air smells of blood and cowardly loathing. I'll be the effigy if this isn't some nest for the quiet slave's skulking vermin.
I want to go into that temple. But, you know what? We're going to do it. Hey, what's up, Bill? Very diplomatic answer, yeah. Right. I think what G said is a good way to put it. Yeah, exactly. Like, I like the mechanics. I do like the mechanics of a lot of the things that they reflected here. And then there's other things I'm not sure about. I haven't really decided what I think about, I haven't decided yet what I think about engagement. And part of the reason I don't know what I think about that yet is because I feel like engagement, like one of the things I had to do was I had to take off this one little thing it has on by default, which is anytime a guy is going to get an engagement attack, he turns around and engages, like, you know, turns around and fight. That's obnoxious. So I shut that off, which means that he takes engagement attacks when he disengages. But because Ader has got all of these, like, defender bases on here, so +2 enemies engaged, and then he has another thing that allows him to engage another person, basically Ader is my tank who can engage 3 enemies at once. That's a little unrealistic, quite honestly, and I don't entirely know why creatures just sit there while they're getting, you know, basically they're acting like pin cushions for my archers and my ranged guys and my magicians, while this one guy is standing in front of them like, here, keep looking at me. You know? So, that's why there are parts of the mechanics that work and parts that don't in this particular game, but a lot of schoolwork. You managed to finish both the recent Shadowrun games. Nice, Bill.
I'm here.
Awesome, man. Alright, time to see what's down in this secret temple. I may have, like, uncovered a nice little cult. Got a little Village of Hamlet action going down here. And Tyrgol's the head of it. I don't know, but I will check it. Oh, damn it. The ruins. Crap. I was kind of hoping I wasn't going to have a whole big thing to explore. His deflection is 80. 80 deflection, 87 fortitude, 53 reflex, 63 will. This effigy is made of several crooked sticks tied together with rough twine and casts an ominous flickering shadow on the wall.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
I hear you, man. Hey, Mizu, what's up? How you doing, Mizu? Well, right. And I think what they were trying to do was they were trying to avoid people basically... They were sort of trying to avoid kiting, which I understand a little bit as to why they would want to control that, but I also kind of feel like... I don't know. It's. I think that's like such a tried and true Infinity Engine mechanic that I don't really know why that was the thing that they needed to fix, you know? On a rune of some kind on a deer fur. It's not clear what it used to be, but symbols of Skane have been painted on the walls and carved into the tunnels. Alright, this may actually connect up with his place, which would be interesting. These are the backers, right? Oh my gosh.
Nothing is closed to the perceptive mind.
If by kiting you mean awesome. Oh crap, Aloth is my mechanics guy. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I forgot that. He's my mechanics guy. Ugh, crap. Crap.
Nothing is closed to the perceptive
Crap.
mind.
Crap. Alright, well...